Hello. Hello, beautiful people. So, welcome to today's live stream. Or if you listen to it later on, welcome. So, my theme today is trust, all about trust, sharing with you what I have learned about trust through Renshui and how I have understood it, and also hopefully we're going to be able in a meditation to connect in with this beautiful heart quality, with our hearts and with the trust present in the heart. That would be beautiful if we could do that together. So I have been working on trust for many years now. I always had that feeling right from the beginning of when the heart work was introduced in our Qigong training that trust is a quality I need to work on as a base. And that was valid for me all these years. In Rinche we work on 5 main heart qualities, that is trust, openness, love, gratitude, and true respect. And so I did a little bit of the other ones too, but I could always feel that it comes down for me to trust, to be able to experience openness. It comes down to trust so I can truly love, and so on. And so I don't think that I really had such a concept about what trust is when I started with this work. Well, yeah, you trust in things. You trust in something. That's what I used to kind of think about trust. That you trust that somebody is going to be honest to you or faithful to you or whatever. You trust that thing that you want to do is going to work out. You trust that you are looked after. And with experiencing and learning more about trust, I realized that that is not the only way. That's not the only type of trust. This type of trust I used to do was trust into something. Okay. And if I go and investigate, then I actually trusted that my expectation of that something will be fulfilled. That's really what the trust was about. Trusting that something I want or expect is going to happen. And, it doesn't always happen. And then there might be disappointment there or frustration or whatever can happen. So it's quite a limited way of trusting, don't you think? It's not a type of trust that doesn't have value. It still has value. We have to start somewhere. We have to experience what it means to trust something. But why is it limiting? Because you set yourself up for disappointment if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted. Okay? So, I would like to talk today about another type of trust. It's the trust without conditions, the unconditional trust. So if I would trust a person, I trust that person. it's a state I have towards that person. So regardless if that person may be or not be honest to me, I don't lose my state of trust. How could I explain this? So I don't have an expectation about something. And can you see the connection of trust with openness here? So when I trust without conditions, unconditional, then I don't have already an expectation of the outcome. And I really talk here about a fixed expectation. Okay? Let's say I have an illness and I trust that this illness will go away. So I have this fixed expectation that this illness will go away. When I have unconditional trust, then I am in this state of trusting, and it's actually being in the present. It's like being in the present moment, not being in the future already, not being in the outcome place. I'm just in the present, and I just trust. And I trust whatever might happen or might not happen is what it is. So I don't have a need to control that outcome. I can take actions. Yes, absolutely. I can do everything to cure this illness in this state of trust. But there is not an expectation there. There is hope there. There is a, let's say, positive information there. But there is not like an expectation of how the future is going to be around this. So it's not connected to an object, this type of trust, or to a thing, or to an outcome. This type of trust is just about being in the present moment. When I trust, I don't need to know the future or control the future. I can just let go. And again, I can take actions. It's not a passive thing. I don't just sit down and do nothing. I take all the actions which feel like being the right actions, but I'm not attached to the outcome. So I don't have attachment when I unconditionally trust. And when I unconditionally trust, I also don't have that weight of the past on my shoulders. So all these past experiences I might have made, they don't weigh heavy. They're just there in the past, but it's the past. I'm not affected by the past. I might have learned from the past. Ideally, I've learned my lessons, but I'm not stuck there. I'm not stuck in emotions around the past. You know, this happened to me in the past. Somebody broke my trust, so now I can't trust anymore. No. The unconditional state of trust is being right in the present moment, completely accepting every present moment, whatever is in the present moment, without any attachment to the past or the future. It's just openness, like with this type of trust. There is no other way than being able to be open, because you're open to anything coming at you. And again, you're taking all the actions to take to you need to take to get to that place you are aiming for. But you're not attached to it. You're not expecting it. Can you see the difference? I hope you can see the difference. And the interesting thing is, this type of trust brings complete relaxation. Just imagine, what are our tensions about? Our tensions are always about worries, stresses, problems, frustrations, disappointment. All of these things cause tensions. Tensions in our body, tensions in our heart, and tensions in our mind. And if you imagine to just drop into unconditional trust, so that whatever outcome there is in any moment of time, in any present moment, you accept. You accept. Total acceptance. Can you see how that, when you truly can do that, how you can relax? Obviously, if you get into the fear in this moment, your patterns want you to get back into the fear of, oh shit, but if happens what I really don't want to happen, well, then you are again slipped out of unconditional trust, because you have something you want to happen. And there is always, that doesn't happen, there is always going to be a problem. But if you don't have that want, then there is no problem. Then you can relax, because anything that happens is okay. It's just what it is. It might be painful. It might not be good. It might not feel good. But it's just what it is. But then I have to say, if we master unconditional trust, and I'm not a master, I just understand it, but I'm not a master. When we master unconditional trust, then the things which without that would have felt very harsh and painful and impossible and unimaginable, they become just what they are, and we can still take actions as good as we can. And sometimes there might be no actions, and then there is just acceptance. Do you feel the power of this information? I hope I'm able to explain this in a way that you really feel the strength of this type of trust and what it can do for us. It gives actually complete freedom. It gives complete freedom. Because freedom I lose when I lose something I want. Freedom I lose if something is not the way I want it to be. But true freedom comes from just being able to trust and accept anything happening in a present moment. And again, doesn't mean not to take action. The good thing too is, like, when we can trust this way. Action becomes quite clear. There is a lot of clarity what is needed. And in the state of trust, we have much a closer connection to our true self. And that's where the clarity comes from, because our true self is the source of wisdom. And just imagine if we would live in a world where action comes from wisdom, action comes from our true self. Our actions would be quite different in many ways, in many places. And this clarity, this wisdom, again, gives a lot of peace and relax, because there is not all these thinking going on constantly, this busyness of desperately fighting for what we think we want. There's just peace there. It's a very peaceful place to be, in this unconditional state of trust. And so maybe I can guide us into a little exploration of trust. And trust is actually a quality of our heart. So it is experienced in the heart. So we do need a heart connection to be able to really connect to this type of trust. And that's not always that easy either, to find that heart connection, but it's something also we can practice. And why is it hard? Why is it hard to connect to this trust? Because the amazing thing is that unconditional type of trust, that state, is always there. Regardless if you feel it or not, it is there. It's there in your heart. It's a innate quality every human has. So why can't I feel it? It's because it is covered up by our patterns. And so it's that mind, that ego, that false self trying to make you to believe that it's not a good idea to feel unconditional trust. And if we look at it from the mind, then it is very understandable. Very understandable. But let's say if the mind wouldn't be there, constantly wanting us to think that it's dangerous to trust unconditionally, if we could just drop ourselves into the state, wow, we all of a sudden would see, oh my God, it's true. It is absolutely safe to be there. It's a different world. It's a different existence. It's a different vibration. It's a different experience we have when we are in that state. And I guess whoever is listening to this is what you probably are looking for. This type of experience, this different type of experience. And that's why you listen to this, and that's why you do whatever work you're doing to connect more to your heart and to experience and strengthen the heart qualities more. And that's why you see that the things which hold you back of experiencing this need to be attended to. But that's another theme, so I'm not going to talk about that today. I can see that the light is a little bit funny. It was cloudy before, so I didn't take any blinds down, and now it's sunny. So, well, we're going to close our eyes anyway now for a little meditation, probably about 20 minutes or so. And maybe we can connect in with that state, present in our heart. And it's not only in our heart, it's obviously present in every person's, every human's heart. It's present in every animal's heart, in every plant's heart, in the heart of Mother Earth, in the heart of every planet and of the whole universe. And don't kind of imagine it as a physical heart. It's that heart chakra. Everything has a heart chakra. Everything has home for its wisdom. And the home for the wisdom is in our heart. It's not in our mind. The mind is just a tool for our existence, because we need mind to understand information, to be able to live the life in this dimension as we do. And it's a beautiful life. It has a lot of beauty in it, doesn't it? So, depending on where you listen to this, you can close your eyes, or you can just listen with your eyes open, but still try to be connected to your body and to your heart. So as you close your eyes, just bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice your breath. No need to change anything. Just observe that in and out flow of the air, in and out of your lungs, of your body. And then let's bring, with each exhalation, the word relax into our presence. And you can kind of, from the top of the head downwards, you can, each time when you think relax, imagine that softening downwards, that relaxing. I just noticed that my shoulders were a little bit up. So with thinking relax, my shoulders dropped down. They were able to relax and let go of any tension. So you just work yourself through whatever in your body is possible to be relaxed at this present moment. At each present moment. Each exhalation is a new present moment. And then, as you feel that your body is letting go some tension, you may also observe that your mind has slowed down a little bit just by bringing your awareness to the breath and to the relaxing. Your mind has just softened a bit. Your mind got distracted from being busy. And this way, your mind is right here and now, where it feels really nice and calm. So actually, we are in the present moment. So in some way, there is already a bit of trust present here, because if you wouldn't trust, you probably, your mind would not be able to come back to this present moment, because it would keep being busy about all the things you want and need, and so on. So yeah, we have already connected just by being in the present moment, focusing on our body. We have connected to trust. It needs trust to do this. So well done. And then let's feel that heart center, the heart chakra, the chest area. Just feel that area, and that can be experienced in different ways. Don't have an expectation, just be with it. And you might say, oh, I don't feel anything. Well, if your awareness is in that center of your chest, in that chest area, then that's where the chi is. So even if you don't feel anything, you are there. Okay? You're there. And I would like you to imagine your heart now as whatever you like it to imagine. That could be a nice bright light, a sunshine, a flower, just a color, or you could imagine whatever form comes up for you. It could be a heart-shaped kind of form, a love heart, or a mandala, or whatever you like to imagine. Imagine it as bright and beautiful. When you look at it, it just is beauty, and it's kind of feeling very nice. It's very nice. And you can just know that that is there in your chest. That is there. It's always there. And you don't always have to have the same imagery. Whatever comes up is fine. And maybe you can really get a sense of a feeling too. Whatever that might feel like to you. Being with your awareness in your heart. And then what is very nice is actually allowing that image to become bigger, wider. So your flower would get more petals and grow in its size. And the sun would shine even stronger, and the mandala would kind of get new rings around it. Whatever you imagine, just allow it to become bigger, and just feel how that feels. And there might come a point where you say, oh, I filled up my whole body now with this. Well, just let it go past the physical body if you like. There is no limit to your heart. Your heart can be infinitely big. The size of your heart can be as big as the universe. So just do what feels right to you. And so become aware of that beautiful bright light in that imagery of your heart. It's very, very bright. in a gentle way, so it's not blinding. It's just amazing. So it's all opened up. It has completely opened up. Just enjoy that moment of shining with no limits. And then see if you can connect to that quality of trust existing in that bright light. Just connect in with it. Just say trust. And as we heard and as we know, when we really connect in with this trust, there's another level of relaxing happening. Because all of a sudden, we are not having anything that is needed. It's just presence of trust. And yeah, if you notice that there comes some resistance or some thoughts in, how is that possible? There are bad things out there. Yeah, it doesn't change that. It just changes about how you experience this present moment. Okay? There is no judgment in trust, in unconditional trust. There is really just what is, without judgment, with full acceptance. So just imagine, or maybe you can feel, how would it feel if you can accept everything and anything in each present moment? How would that change your state? Yes, again, the relax. There is a relax happening. There is a relax happening because you don't have to control anymore. No more control. Wow, just imagine. And no more control, again, doesn't mean that I can't take actions I see I need to take. I still can do that. But I do that very differently. It feels very differently than if I feel like I need to control something. Feel that. Feel the difference. And maybe you can really connect in with the state of trust now. It's a state. It's not something. It's not a thing. Or it's not something we do. Or something we create. Or something we want to achieve. No. It's a state. It's a way of being. When you are able to feel this state, I'm sure that you feel space. tension has completely left. And there's a lot of calm and peace in that state of trust. That deep acceptance of every present moment is very powerful because, things might not have changed, but because we have the state of unconditional trust, the feeling of how the things feel has changed because of that acceptance. And we're really focusing on this state. And just imagine a situation you struggle to trust. Something you have problems with when it comes to trust. Just imagine that situation and how you feel around it. That might be struggling to trust a certain person or trust your health or trust that you have you have enough money or that you get that job or whatever. And just explore a little bit how it feels when you have this need of a certain outcome, and how it feels that you can't quite trust actually because you have this condition there. So, you trust only if it happens that way. So there is a tension there, isn't there? There's always a bit of watching out if it goes the right way. And then just come back to that pure state of unconditional trust in your heart and imagine the same situation with that type of trust. How different would it feel? Is there a transformation happening? Because it's still exactly the same situation, isn't it? How different does it feel, though? The urgency of the outcome has left, isn't it? Can that relax you? Can that open things up? Tension letting go? Wow. That's very different, isn't it? The beautiful thing about getting stronger in this quality, in this connection to the quality of unconditional trust is really that it brings openness. And it actually lets all the hard qualities become more experienceable, if that's a word. When I can truly trust and let go, then all of a sudden I'm more open. And that's a big difference because now I'm open to different possibilities. am I? I'm not anymore fixated on that certain outcome. I'm just open. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So there might happen something really good, different to what I wanted, but could still be really good. It could also be not good, but because I'm so trusting unconditionally, well, it loses its ugliness. Well, that might have triggered some. I'm not meaning that there is not ugliness out in the world anymore, or even inside of us, but because we accept the ugliness, it's a different experience, and then we can take actions, and we take actions from that open heart. And that could be a very different action to if we are just angry and upset, and take action out of that. So see the power of this, the power of trust for life, for relationships. And because we know that we are not separate to anything, this is going to impact everything. So, maybe you can explore. Anytime doesn't go the way, anytime something doesn't go the way you would like it, or somebody is not the way you want them to be, check in with how much trust is there in you in that moment. Can you connect in with that unconditional trust and accept completely that present moment? And then see what happens. Now open your arms out to the side. Connect in with this chi field of trust and openness. And as you bring your hands back towards your heart, just let all that information and that chi stream into you, integrating it into your heart. And just feel that beautiful bright light of your heart. And then relax your arms and open your eyes. So I have used for years mantras around trust. And I always combine it with coming into the heart. So anytime I think about the heart or trust, I bring them together in my heart. And you could do that all day long whenever you remember. Because as we know, it's important to strengthen something when there is not a trigger present. So that when there is a trigger present, it is easier to connect to it. So if you strengthen that awareness of your heart and the awareness of trust in your daily life when there is nothing really a problem, then that will help you when a problem is coming up, and you will remember this feeling of trust easier, and therefore experience the problem in a different way. And that feels really much better. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I send you my love, and I trust this universe immensely. And because I trust the universe, I trust each of you immensely. And I trust everything unconditionally. Or at least I give my best to do that. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.